গুরুদং গ্রন্থদং গৌরধামদং নামদং মুদা ভক্তিদং হরিদং বন্দে ভক্তি বিনোদকং সদা ভক্তি বিনোদকং সদা। বাঞ্ছা কল্পতরুভ্যশ্চ কৃপা সিন্ধুবেব চ পতিতানাং পাবনেভ্যো বৈষ্ণবেভ্যো নমো নমঃ। পঞ্চতত্ত্বাত্মকং কৃষ্ণং ভক্তরূপ স্বরূপকং ভক্তাবতারং ভক্তাখ্যং নমামি ভক্তশক্তিকং। নমো মহাবদন্নায় কৃষ্ণ প্রেম প্রদায়তে কৃষ্ণায় কৃষ্ণ চৈতন্য নাম্নি গৌরতিশে নমঃ। জয়তাং সুরতৌ পঙ্গ মম মন্দ মতির্গতি মৎসর্বস্ব পদাম্বুজৌ রাধা মদন ঘন। দিব্যবৃন্দারণ্য কল্পদ্রুমাধ শ্রীমদ রত্নগার সিংহাসনস্থ শ্রীগান্ধর্বাশিল গোবিন্দ দেব পৃষ্ঠলিভি সেবমানো স্মরামি। শ্রীমান রাসরসারম্ভী বংশীবট তটস্থিত কর্ষণ বেণু সোনর গোপী গোপীনাথ হস্তুন বৃন্দাই তুলসী দেব্যই প্রিয়া বৈ কেশবস্য চ কৃষ্ণ ভক্তি প্রদে দেবী সত্যবত্যৈ নমো নমঃ। অথ নত্বমন্ত্র গুরুন গুরুন ভাগবতার্থদান বেশান জগদ্গুরু নত্বা তত জয় মুদিরয় জয় সপরিকর শ্রী শ্রী গুরু গৌরাঙ্গ গান্ধর্বা গোবিন্দ সুন্দর পাদ পদ্মানাং জয়স্তু। শ্রীকৃষ্ণ চৈতন্য প্রভু নিত্যানন্দ শ্রী অদ্বৈত গদাধর শিবাসাদি গৌর ভক্তবৃন্দ। হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে হরে। নানা শাস্ত্র বিচারণৈক্য নিপুণ সদ্ধর্ম সংস্থাপক লোকানাং হিতকারিণো ত্রিভুবনে মান্য শরণ্যা করো। রাধা কৃষ্ণ পদার বিন্দ ভজনানন্দন মত্তালিকো বন্দে রূপ সনাতন রঘুযুগ শ্রীজীব গোপালকৌ। বন্দে রূপ সনাতন রঘুযুগ শ্রীজীব গোপালকৌ। নীলাম্বুধি তটে সদা সবিরাহ ক্ষেপান্বিত বান্ধবম শ্রীমদ্ভাগবতী কথা মদিরয়া সঞ্জীবয়ন ভাতিজ। শ্রীমদ্ভাগবতং সদা সনানশ্রুপায়নৈ পূজয়ন গোস্বামী প্রবর গদাধরা বিপুরভূয়াৎ মদিকাগতি। ইয়ং প্রব্রজন্তমনুপেতমপেত কৃত্যং দ্বৈপায়ন বিরহ কাতর আজুহাব পুত্রেতি তন্ময়া তয়া তরুবভিনেদু তং সর্বভূত হৃদয়ং মুনিমানতস্মি। তমাদিদেবং করুণানিদানম তমালবর্ণং শ্রীতাবতারম अपार संसार समुद्र सेतुं भजमहे भागवत स्वरूपम। भजमहे भागवत स्वरूपम भजमहे भागवत स्वरूपम भजमहे भागवत स्वरूपम। So, आज होच्छे today is 8th November, Friday. So, what shall I read? Shall I read Guru Maharaj Harikatha, Loving Search for the Lost Servant, or shall I read Gajendra Mukham? What shall I read? কি পড়ব বলুন? गजेंद्र मुख्य लीला और गुरु महाराज कथा। हरे कृष्ण। About this book, Loving Search for the Lost Servant, Bhakti Sridhar Goswami Maharaj was saying, we can read. A Christian theologian predicted that Christianity is on the verge of a Copernican revolution. Prior to Copernicus, it was believed that the earth was at the center of the universe and that the sun and other planets orbited the earth. Until recently, in the Western world, it has been thought that Christianity was the central conception of divinity in the theistic universe. But as Western man has begun to gaze eastward, he has discovered a plurality of theistic conceptions orbiting the supreme truth. Accepting that plurality, we must also accept the accompanying gradations of theism, superior and inferior. As the planets are situated according to their gravitational attraction for the sun, the varieties of theistic conception are situated higher or lower according to their attraction toward the absolute center. The Krishna conception of divinity is one of being irresistibly drawn in attraction toward the infinite center of all love, beauty and harmony. The infinite can make himself known to the finite, and the divine agent through whom his function manifests is Sri Guru, or the divine agent through whom the function of manifest is Sri Guru or the divine guide. His divine grace, Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj, is an agent of divinity and a messenger of that supreme reality. He has reminded us that we are all sons of nectar and that we shall have to die to live, dive deep into reality and enter the land of dedication. As much as we sacrifice ourselves in this plane, we shall become released from its influence and be drawn through dedication into the higher plane of reality, where the divine pastimes move in a crooked way. And there we will find a hidden treasure of sweet absolute in the service of Srimati Radharani. His divine grace has informed us that the heart's inner hankering for ecstasy, charm and sweetness leads it in the search for Sri Krishna, really the beautiful. The Krishna conception of divinity is so irresistible that even Krishna himself becomes overwhelmed by his own potency and is madly engaged in tasting his own sweetness, ecstatically dancing and thereby distributing their sweetness to others. In Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami described that while dancing at the Ratha Jatra, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would sometimes fall in an ecstatic zone and appear like a golden mountain rolling on the ground. Sridhar Maharaj described that. In the agony of separation from Krishna, ecstatic eruptions of ecstasy flowed like lava from the heart of the golden volcano of divine love, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And now, in the loving search for the Lord's servant, we find that the Lord's heart is such that you also feel the agony of separation from his fallen devotees. And as they are engaged in searching for him, he is also engaged in a loving search for his lost servant. Nice? You understand?
So beautiful. One.
Haribol, you are not anyone is Englishman. Only Govindacharan may be Englishman, right? You are Englishman, all we are not Englishmen. But it's nice. Maybe we not understand everything, but something we feel that is nice. His divine grace informed us that the hearts of inner hankering for ecstasy, charm and sweetness leads it in the search of Sri Krishna. Read the beautiful. The Krishna concept of divinity is so irresistible that even Krishna himself becomes overwhelmed by his own potency and is madly engaged in tasting his own sweetness, ecstatically dancing and thereby distributing their sweetness to others. It is very good to read or hear from the mouth of devotees, right? When we read direct, we can't understand so much. But when a devotee read and explain us, then we can easily understand, right? So I prefer to read Guru Maharaj's books. It is told, Sukhamukhad Amrita Drava Samjitam. When Sukdev Maharaj telling Bhagavatam, Vyasdev telling, it is like Sukhamukhat Amrita Drava Samjitam. From the mouth of Shuka, it is coming with a touch of nectar. So, I heard that if Vyasdev of Chaitanya Lila is Vrindavan Thakur, then who is Shukdev? Who is Shukdev of Chaitanya Lila? Tell. Bol. Tell. Who can tell? Huh? Bah. So Shukdev of Chaitanya Lila is Krishna Das Kaviraj. Haribol. But Srila Govinda Maharaj wrote a slok, there he told, Do Veshavataro. Both Vrindavan Thakur and Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami is both Vyas of Chaitanya Lila. But I heard it is Guru Maharaj told. Huh? A fan bond kar, no need, no need. So, maybe it's Guru Maharaj told. Krishna's Kaviraj is the Shukdev of Gaur Lila. Chaitanya Lila Shukdev is Krishna Das Kaviraj. Sukhamukhad Amrita Drava Samjitam. Pipatam Bhagavatam Rasamalayam Muhuruhu Rashika Bhuvi Bhavuka. Simply hearing this are nice. We just read Bhakti Sridhar Goswami Maharaj. Small, he never writes so much in any of the books, only here. Any of his books, all the books he published, he not wrote anything. But here, one page he wrote. He on page he wrote. Again we read. A Christian theologian predicted that Christianity is on the verge of Copernican revolution. Prior to Copernicus, it was believed that the earth was at the center of the universe and that the sun and other planets orbited in the earth. Until recently, in the Western world, it has been thought that Christianity was the central conception of divinity in the theistic universe. But as Western man has begun to gaze eastward, he has discovered a plurality of theistic conception orbiting the supreme truth. He has discovered a plurality of theistic conceptions orbiting the supreme truth. What do you mean? How you explain this? Oh, no. I can read again. But here.
Christian is on the verge of the Copernican revolution. Prior to Copernican, we believe the earth was at the center of the universe. So that Christianity was the center of unity. But as Western man has begun to eastward, he has discovered a plurality of this conception of truth. It means Copernic. Copernic. He was the one who discovered that actually the earth was not the center.
Yes.
So in the same way, the people believe, because Christianity is like the major culture in the world,
Yes.
that Christianity is the center of every spiritual conception. But now that people from the West, they come to India, and they find out, there's other conceptions, like much more. And then they have to admit that there's a gradation. Okay. There's a gradation in those conceptions. Before they were thinking, the only thing is Jesus came, died on the cross for the sins of the world, that's it. And if you don't believe, you go to hell.
Yes.
They believe like that. Now they understand, there is some other conceptions, and then we have to admit there is some gradation. So it's like another revolution.
Yes. So, before, which religion you follow? Christianity? You follow Christianity?
Like everyone in the West, either you atheist, either you Christian.
Acha.
I was raised a Catholic, like Christian Bhakti, devotion to Jesus, devotion to Mary, Mother of Jesus, devotion to the saints.
Bible.
Not so much Bible, more gospel.
Gospel.
Gospel is part of the Bible, but like the Protestants, they focalize on the old part of the Bible, what we call Old Testament. And the Catholic, we're more concerned with the gospel, what Jesus, the life of Jesus.
Acha.
They're not studying the Bible so much.
Acha.
It's much more personal.
Acha.
The Protestants are very impersonal.
Acha.
In their temple, there's nothing, no church, no cross,
Acha.
no picture. And if you go to Catholic Church, there's like deities, Jesus, Mary, the saints.
As a Protestant, what follow? Bible?
No, Protestant, because the Catholic Church has become very corrupt in the 15th century. So Luther, he was a monk, he was a Catholic monk, but he started to protest. Now the church is deviating. So because he was protesting, his movement became the Protestants.
Acha.
Yes, so from protesting against the abuse of the church, the deviation of the church, the corruptions, but because he was protesting, then the whole thing became Protestantism, those who protest.
I see.
And then it was because the church was making some very strange things. For instance, before everyone was believing in reincarnation. The Christians also believed. And then in the 4th century, they took it off, the teaching. Then people ask, okay, so nobody's left. either you go to heaven, either you go to hell. But the question came, if you're not good enough to go to heaven, and not bad enough to go to hell, then what happens? So they invented a place in between, which is called purgatory. Like it's imagination. They just, to answer the people's questions, say, oh, in between there is a place where you go to be purified before you can go to heaven. And then they agreed that actually practically nobody was going to heaven. Most people were going to hell, and others were going to purgatory. Which is contradictory because their doctrine that Jesus died for their sins. So why you should go to purgatory if he has paid for your sins? But there's not so much philosophy in Christianity.
Not so much.
And then purgatory, what happens is that the church said, if you, they understood they could make a lot of money from this. They said, if you give a big donation to the church, then your time in purgatory can be less. And they started to sell it and make so much money. The church is God's representative. You give money to the church, and the church will give you a certificate. Oh, you have to spend less time there. So, Luther said, this is crazy, this is corruption. And he protested. He became a Protestant. So he became completely opposed to Catholicism. So no image of God, not even a cross, completely dry and impersonal. But if you go to Mexico, you will see in the Catholic Church, they dress the deities. They dress the statue with cloth and crowns and jewelry like with the deities. So it's very easy to preach to Catholics because they already have a basis of bhakti. No.
Now, dress whom? Jesus Christ?
No, Mary, Mother Mary.
Oh,
beautiful dress with crown and maybe in Filipinos. Yes. They're very personal. It's very like devotional. I remember, remember Tamal Krishna Maharaj?
Yes, yes.
Okay. He used to say, give me one Catholic country, I'll give you my whole GBC zone. One Catholic country. Because he could see, very easy to make a Catholic a devotee. Because he has just to shift Bhakti to Jesus and Mary to Bhakti to Krishna and Radha. But Protestant, so impersonal.
And what Russia follow? Russia is very big church.
Russia is another church. It's called Orthodox. Pravoslavian. In the 11th century, there was a big split between the Catholics and what became the Orthodox. Most of them criticized each other and they kicked out
Separate.
each other, excommunicated each other from the church.
Catholic Orthodox.
Yeah, they cursed each other. You are stupid, you don't understand anything. You are stupid, you don't understand anything. Okay, we separate. An Orthodox church you find mostly in Russia, Greece, Ukraine, like that, mostly.
Orthodox,
Yeah.
Russia, Greece.
He started with Greece, then Russia, Greece, Turkey, because before the Turks caught Istanbul, it was Constantinople. It was the center of the Eastern Christianity. So before that, the Orthodox Church was there. The seat was Greece, and then Constantinople, and then Ukraine, then Russia.
But Turkey is Islam religion. Turkey is Islam religion.
Yeah. But that came much after. Yeah, because they're trying to conquer so much of this city, Constantinople, and when they conquered it, then they imposed Islam on the whole country. They turned the big Holy Sophia Church into a mosque.
Is it?
Yes. They turned all the churches into mosques.
Mosque in Tursko.
Like in India, they turned the temple into mosques. So many temples here in India. They demolish the temple,
A mosque.
and they use the same material and they make mosque.
Mosque, yes.
Thousands in India. In Mughal time. Especially Aurangzeb.
Yes. But, so okay, now it's separated. So Turusk is a Islamist country or secular country?
Which?
Turco is Islamic country?
Turkey is Muslim country. Yes.
Islamic, yes.
But the father of modern Turkey, Atatürk, he could see Islam is keeping us backwards. So he said we should become secular.
Secular.
So he modernized Islam. But the Muslim fanatics don't like that.
Don't like, yes.
But still Turkey, is
Little-
not the same fanatic Muslim than the other countries, much less.
Less, I
Because
understand.
of his influence. Much less.
Yeah,
Like the father of modern Turkey, is called Atatürk.
I
The
see, okay.
Muslim, Orthodox
Okay.
Muslims hate him, but the modern Muslims,
Acha, okay. So we are coming in the point. So, but as Western man has begun to gaze eastward, he has discovered a plurality of theistic conceptions orbiting the supreme truth. Accepting that plurality, we must also accept the accompanying gradations of theism, superior and inferior. As the planets are situated according to their gravitational attraction for the sun, the varieties of theistic conception are situated higher or lower according to their attraction toward the absolute center. The Krishna concept of divinity is one of the being irresistibly drawn in attraction toward the infinite center of all love, beauty and harmony. The Krishna conception of divinity is one of being irresistibly drawn in attraction toward the infinite center of all love, beauty and harmony.
he's making comparison with just like before Copernicus, they were saying the Earth is the center, everything orbiting around the sun.
Yes.
Around the Earth. And now they say like people are attracted, but the highest conception is Krishna.
Yes,
Like Srila Maharaj said, the Krishna conception of Godhead.
yes.
And this is irresistibly attracting, that you cannot resist the attraction of Krishna, like magnet.
Yes.
That's what he's saying. His language is very refined and very intellectual language.
Yes, it's American English. It's American English. The Krishna concept of divinity is one of the being irresistibly drawn in attraction toward the infinite center of all love, beauty and harmony. The infinite can make himself known to the finite, and divine agent through which this function manifests is Sri Guru or the divine guide. His divine grace, Srila Bhakti Raksha Sridhar dev-Goswami Maharaj, is an agent of divinity and a messenger of that supreme reality. He has reminded us that we are all sons of nectar and that we shall have to die to live, dive deep into reality and enter the land of dedication. As much we sacrifice ourselves in this plane, we shall become released from its influence and drawn through dedication into the higher plane of reality, where the divine pastimes move in a crooked way. And there we will find the hidden treasure of the sweet absolute in the service of Srimati Radharani. His divine grace has informed us the heart's inner hankering for ecstasy. So our heart's inner hankering for ecstasy, charm and sweetness leads it in the search for Sri Krishna. Really the beautiful. The Krishna concept of divinity is so irresistible that even Krishna himself becomes overwhelmed by his own potency, and is madly engaged in tasting his own sweetness, ecstatically dancing, and thereby distributing their sweetness to others. In Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Sri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami described that while dancing at the Ratha Yatra, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would sometimes fall in an ecstasy zone and appear like a golden mountain rolling on the ground. Srila Maharaj described that in the agony of separation from Krishna, ecstatic eruptions of ecstasy flowed like a lava from the heart of the golden volcano of divine love, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And now in loving search for the lost servant, we find that the Lord's heart is such that he also feels the agony of separation from his fallen devotees. And as they are engaged in searching for him, he is also engaged in loving search for his lost servant. The Lord's loving search for the lost servants, great intensity is expressed here in a simple way. It is a mad search, an ardent campaign. With great earnestness, Krishna comes to deliver his lost servants. Krishna comes to take us home. In Brihad Bhagavatamritam, it is written that once, as Krishna and the cows were returning from the Vrindavan forest, at the end of the day, a boy had just attained spiritual emancipation and entered Vrindavan as a cowherd boy. Seeing his long lost servant, Krishna embraced him and both of them fainted in ecstasy. All of Krishna's other cowherd friends were astounded, thinking, what is that? Krishna has lost his sense by embracing the newcomer, this newcomer. How is it possible? Then, as all of the cowherd boy looked and astonished, Balaram came to Krishna's relief and somehow managed to rouse him. Then Krishna addressed his friend with great affection. Why did you stay away? Why have you been living away from home for so long? How was it possible for you? How could you bear my separation? You left me and you have been passing leaves after leaves without me. Still, I know what trouble you took to return to me. You searched for me everywhere and went back from house to house, and you were chastised by many, ridiculed by many, and you shed tears for me. I know all these things I was with you. And now, after great trouble, you have again come back to me. In this way, Krishna addressed his long lost servant and welcomed him. And when Krishna returned home, he took the newcomer by his side to take prasadam. In this way, a new recruit is earnestly welcomed by Krishna himself. So, the Lord's search for his lost servant is a loving search. It is not ordinary, but from the heart. And the Lord's heart is not an ordinary heart. Who can estimate what type of search he is engaged in? Although he is full in all respects, still he feels pangs of separation for every one of us, however small we may be. In spite of his supreme position, He has room for us in a corner of his loving heart. This is the nature of the infinite. Such an absolute autocrat, absolute good is Krishna. An autocrat is not under law. It is not that if Krishna gives himself to one, another will be lacking. The infinite is not like that. Rather, there is an infinite supply at his command. So, he is the emporium of Rasa, Akhil Rasamrita Murti, and he is searching for his lost servant to bring them home. Otherwise, we have no hope. Our solace, our consolation in life is that ultimately we are under the care of such loving Lord. Krishna's fans think, what do we care for others? We have our Krishna, our friend. The sort of inner encouragement, that desperate encouragement comes from within. Krishna is there. He is our friend. How do we care about everything? We can take poison. We can jump on the head of that big serpent Kaliya. We can do anything. With Krishna behind us, what do we care? This sentiment is expressed by Bhaktivinoda Thakur in his Sharanagati. Yes. Rakha Karubi Nishchoy Jani Pan Karo Ham Jamuna Pani. Fearless and confident of your protection, I shall drink the waters of the Jamuna, whether they are poison or not. I am your property. You must take care of me. You can't leave me. Kaliya dukh karabi binasha. Shodhabi nodijol barobi asha. Bhakti vinod tua gokula dhan. Rakhobi keshava karuto jatan. Although the Kaliya serpent's venom has poisoned the Jamuna's water, I know that poison will not act. Your presence will cleanse the water and so increase our confidence in your protection. Bhakti Vinod is now the property of Gokul, your holy abode. O Keshava, kindly protect him with care. How are we to enter into such a loving relationship with the Lord? So the grace of Sri Gauranga, one devotee has said, if Gauranga had not come, how would we live? And who would inform us about our ultimate prospect in life? We have such a great prospect, and yet without Gauranga, who would have come to inform us that we have so much wealth within? And Sri Gauranga says, you don't know, but you have such a great magnitude of wealth. He is coming to inform us of our prospect is like the astrologer who reads a poor man's horoscope and tells him, why are you living a poor life? You have immense wealth buried underground. Try to recover it. You are so great and your guardian is so loving and so high, and yet you are wandering like a poor fellow in the street. What is this? You are not helpless. You have no guardian. You have only to remember your merciful guardian. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, where the Kali Yuga avatar is mentioned, we find evidence of the advent of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. There is said, Krishna Varnam Tisha Akrishnam Sango Pango Asta Parshadam Yoggoi Sankirna Prayur Jajanti Hi Sumedasa. In the age of Kali, persons of great piety and intelligence will worship Lord as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He will appear in a golden form. chanting Krishna's name, accompanied by his associates and entourage. After that, there are two other verses about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Thyang Shada Paribhavagnam Abhishtaduham Titapadam Shiva Virinchinotam Sarannam Vrittarti Aham Pranatapala Bhavavdi Potam Bandi Mahapurushate Charanarabindam. Srimad Bhagavatam explains here that the same personality who came as Ramchandra and Krishna has again appeared. He has come to direct us to the real fulfillment of life. He is drawing the sweetest nectar from above for the sake of everyone. Meditate only on Him and all your trouble will be finished. He purifies all holy places of pilgrimage and great saintly person by his touch and by his Sankirtan. He draws the highest things down from the highest plane, and even Brahma and Shiva, puzzled by his noble gift, will begin to praise him. They will eagerly aspire to take shelter under his lotus feet. The pains of all who come to serve him will be removed, and their inner necessities will be fulfilled, and he will take care of those who take shelter of him. They will be given protection as well as everything they may need. In this world where mortality rules, where we are continually experiencing the undesirable changes of repeated birth and death, in this area where no one wants to live, a great ship will come for us and take us within and carry us away from the unpleasant position. Let us fall at the feet of that great personality who come to give us the highest nectar. Guru Maharaj in this way started. The book is started in this way. আমার গৌরাঙ্গের ঘাটে উজান খেয়া বয়, উজান খেয়া বয়, কড়িপাতি নাহি লাগে অমনি পার হয়। হরে কৃষ্ণ হরে কৃষ্ণ। Planets of faith. Faith is the only means through which we can see, hear or feel the higher world. Otherwise it is all meaningless to us. To understand that plane, an inner acquaintment is necessary. We can connect with the upper world only through a higher source. Therefore, Dibbam Jnanam, knowledge of the higher plane, is not ordinary knowledge. It is transcendental, supramental feelings and sense. But to realize this, surrender is compulsory. After that, we may go on hearing and chanting, remembering and worshipping and praising the Lord, or rendering so many other kinds of service. But the first thing, the foundation of devotion, must be self-surrender. Otherwise nothing will be effected. Our show of devotion all will be imitation. We must sincerely feel, I shall be faithful in my service to the Supreme Lord. I am meant for Him, I am ready to die to live. I want to live for Him only and not for fulfilling any separate interest. I want nothing less than the Absolute. I want to be His completely. This sort of intensity is an indispensable necessity for a devotee. A devotee has to conceive, to feel that he is meant for Krishna. He is not an independent entity. He is dependent on Krishna, the highest absolute center and nothing else. To identify with the interest of our family, society or country is extended selfishness. Extended selfishness. But all false identification must be eliminated. We must be neither selfish nor entangled in extended selfishness. Rather, all sorts of foreign contamination must be eliminated from our conception of self. All outside demands must be cancelled. Then we shall feel in our innermost heart that we are connected with the whole of the infinite, the Absolute. And nothing externally is required for our success. The only thing required is that we dismantle the ego's cupboard. The ego is collecting some foreign elements, but that foreign collection box must be dissolved, finished, and then in our innermost hearts we shall find our connection with the fundamental plane of loving service to the organic whole. So Guru Maharaj is saying, both enjoyment and renunciation are abnormal. There are two kinds of demons, enjoyment or exploitation, and eternal rest of renunciation. These two tendencies are our enemies. A higher positive life is possible only when we become fully independent of both exploitation and renunciation.
Plane of dedication.
A higher positive life is possible only when we become fully independent of both exploitation and renunciation. And in the middle, what is there? Dedication, right? Everything will help us if we can see it in connection with the center. On the other hand, the kind of exclusive renunciation practiced by the Shankarites and Buddhists is not recommended by our line. We are concerned to harmonize things so that everything will remind us of our duty toward the Absolute and encourage us to dedicate ourselves to Him. Prapanchakadaya Buddha Harisammanana Vastana Moksha vi Parittago Vairagam Folgu Kattate. If we use everything for the Lord is best. Otherwise, other thing will divert us. Yukta Vairagya. We have to follow the path of Yukta Vairagya. It is told for us. Yukta Vairagya, not Shushka Vairagya. Huh?
Many types of Vairagya. Yukta Vairagya,
Shushka Vairagya,
Falgu Vairagya,
Falgu Vairagya,
Markata Vairagya.
Markata Vairagya. Markata Nyaya. Markata Nyaya. Okay. So we shall read about, you are hearing about what teachings we are getting from Gajendra Mukham. Gajendra prayed, right? The prayer of Gajendra is nice, isn't it? We shall try to read. So we can see Lord come in the danger of Gajendra. Lord came in danger of Draupadi. Lord will come if I am in danger also. If we really surrender. Like Gajendra surrendered, right? Gajendra at that time surrendered. And so Krishna came to save him. So Gajendra Mukhya Lila, now every day discussing, we also try to read something after Arati or next time. Pancha kalpatarupascha, kipa sindheva, patitanam pavane, vaishnavbho. Hari Bol, Jai Jai Guru, Jai Guru Maharaj, Jai Vishnu, Vaishnav Vrinda ki Jai. 8, 6, 14 are 6 days. 6, 7 days. Only 7 days more.
Yes.
Only 7 days more. Play finish. Khala khatam. Vrindavan Bas finish.
Then back to Navadvip.
Yes. আমার মনে ছিল আশ, ব্রজে করব বাস, হব রাইয়ার দাস, পরে চিরবাস. My father used to sing this song. আমার মনে ছিল আশ, নরনাথ ঠাকুর, হ্যাঁ, ব্রজে করব বাস. I thought in my mind that I shall reside in Braja. আমার মনে ছিল আজ ব্রজে হব, পরে চিরবাস. চিরবাস means piece of cloth, বহির্বাস. হব রাইয়া, রাইয়ার দাস. রাইয়া means রাধারানীর দাস. আমার মনে ছিল আস, পরে চিরবাস, ব্রজে করব বাস, হব রাইয়ার দাস. Like this. So Vrindavan Das Thakur, and also Rotusho wrote very nice. And Rup Sanatan Raghunath, he also stayed in Braja. And now he went for preaching. He went for preaching. Rup Sanatan not to stay here only, but Narottam Thakur, Sriva Acharya, Shyamananda Prabhu, they went to distribute the nectar, Vrindavan nectar, and they gave Narottam Thakur gave us. Okay, so 7 days we must spend nicely. 7 days we have meeting at the inn and 2 days meeting. Okay. Okay. So Maharaja also go. And tomorrow will come, Bangshadhar Prabhu?
Yes.
Tomorrow, how he will come? You know? Car. Okay.